Hey, welcome to Bible and Wi-Fi.
Welcome to Bible and Wi-Fi, week 2 of God is Pursuing.
Day 1.
Day 1
Yeah.
of week 2.
Day 1 of week 2, God is Pursuing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hey, we need to do some sponsors real fast.
We got to earn the money.
We got to earn the money.
Yeah.
You go first.
I'll go for, hey, Niagara Falls, the official waterfall of OCC.
The official waterfall of
Yeah.
OCC? Awesome.
That and Dundee. Sorry.
Nerf blaster here.
I don't feel safe.
And this is the Vortex Diatron. And what's cool about this is it shoots out little frisbees instead of darts. So,
well, hopefully. You can't break a camera with that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I could. But
yeah, you could.
Okay.
That's why I brought it.
Awesome. Hey, I got to sneak another one in. AquaSafe, the official aquarium cleaner of OCC. Shout out to Thaddeus. All right, go ahead. Yep.
Hey, let's play a game real fast before we get underway. This game is called Why Does This Exist? Careful.
Sure.
That'll clean you out for sure.
Yeah.
Why does this exist? So the way that this game is played is Zachary, shout out to Zachary Harley, he's helping us out, is going to show us an image, and we have to try to guess what the true purpose of the image is. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right, Zachary, let's go ahead. First one. All right, is that a double-sided fishing magnet or a small weight that's added to a fishing line?
Ooh.
I want to phone a friend and ask Mulpus, but I don't think he'd be any help.
He's a fisherman. I'm going to go 1.
All right, I'll go 2. You already committed.
I want to go 2.
No, I'm going 2.
No, you don't need no magnet.
All right, what's the answer?
Go with your gut.
It is
unless it's bad.
Unless it's bad. After Taco Bell.
Yeah.
All right, let's do the next. Let's do the next one.
Too soon on that.
Is this an adze, a carving tool that's used for smooth woodworking, or is it called a Zaid, a demolition aid that's used to shave paint and residue off drywall?
1.
I'll go 2.
I'm going 1.
I'll go 2.
Boom. A zinger. You don't take drywall off with something like that.
You don't know?
Well, you take
it looked like
not
there might
paint.
have been like paint flecks on it or something. So that's what I was going. All right, one more. One more. What we got?
Ooh.
Okay, is that a Garby or a Darby? A Garby or a Darby?
Tearing woodworking. Flattened concrete. I'm going to go with number 2.
I'm going 2. I was going to go 2. I'll go 1 though, just to be different.
Why? We're like brothers, man.
All right, what's the answer, Z?
Boom.
You got it.
Man. I was in fuego today.
You're on a roll today.
All right.
All right. So,
hey, what's the point?
Yeah.
Tell me the point.
The point of the game is sometimes we don't know what the true purpose is, right? Obviously, you know all the true purposes of everything. I know none of the true purposes. But that can sometimes be the way it is with our lives as well. Sometimes we end up just going with the flow and ending up wherever we end up. You know, but God is pursuing us.
Yeah.
And he reminds us where we could be. You know, God did this with the Israelites. He reminded them by resetting and allowing them to remember and allowing them to be taken into captivity as kind of like a timeout. But there's a guy, his name was Jeremiah. He was a prophet.
Not a bullfrog.
Not a bullfrog, who warned about these consequences. You know, he didn't have a popular role being a prophet, but God needed someone to speak to his people, and that was his true purpose.
Right.
So why don't you tell us a little bit more about Jeremiah as we dig in?
Like Corey said, Jeremiah is a prophet, and so he's in the latter part of the Old Testament. He has his own book right after Isaiah, Jeremiah. But the cool thing about Jeremiah is he's a young dude. He's only about 20, is what people are saying. And it's a book of prophecy about the southern kingdom of Israel. They were split, so the southern kingdom, it lasts longer, but they're about to be conquered. And Jeremiah writes them warnings about that. And really, he gets kind of a bad rap of the weeping prophet, but there's really some hope in there. And so why would you read these books of prophecy? Well, one is it helps you understand God's relationship with his people, how he works with his people, because Jeremiah gave the message from God to the people. Right. The other thing is it gives you a lot of hope that because in each one of these books of the prophets, most of them have a little line about Jesus in there if you read it close. And so God always has a plan to get his people back. And then the last thing, I always think, man, if God punished Israel, he can punish me. And so it kind of gets my attention. Like if I'm struggling with sin, I gotta fly right. And that's what Jeremiah's trying to get his people to understand. So it's a warning. And so the big thing, though, today we're going to talk about is that it gives us hope because God's pursuing us. So you're going to start us off, Corey. What do you got, man?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
The first point is that God has a purpose for your life.
Yeah.
I love this point. We got a little bit of a glimpse into who Jeremiah was and the time of his calling, his purpose. But what I want to talk about is kind of more of Jeremiah the man, right? God had a purpose for him. His nation had turned away and become self-centered, and God, through Jeremiah, used him to speak to his people. That was his purpose, and
Right.
that's so cool. To be given a purpose from God that you can actually see and act on. But here's the couple cool verses. This is Jeremiah chapter 1, verses 5 through 6. This is God talking to Jeremiah. He says, "Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. I appointed you as a prophet to the nations." This is Jeremiah's response. He said, "Alas, sovereign Lord, I do not know how to speak, for I am too young." So these are really cool verses.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
For Jeremiah, God said he set him apart before he was ever born.
Yeah.
That he knew him in the womb.
Mm-hmm.
And the really cool thing is that the verses that are true for Jeremiah are true for us as well.
Yeah.
God has known us before we were ever born and has set us apart and has given us an incredible purpose to be a part of his kingdom and bring others with us.
That's right.
I absolutely love that. But we're going to be talking about your purpose a little bit later on Wednesday. But what I want to say for right now is we have to choose to live according to his will and ways and not our own. It doesn't matter what purpose God has given us if we don't live according to it.
That's right. That's right.
So let me ask a question for those of you watching. Comment, slide up, fill out the form, text, email,
Signal,
MySpace,
whatever.
whatever. What does it feel to know that God has set us up for significant acts that we can either follow or avoid?
Avoid.
What do you think?
How's it? Well, I feel honored. I feel like when I read that, I'm like, man, that's how God feels about everybody.
Yep.
So, and we have a choice.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's really cool, man.
Like that,
Yeah.
feeling honored and being a part of things. Hey, we got one announcement real fast.
What do you got, man?
High Voltage is starting up September 16th. And I am excited for High Voltage startup. You and I, Pape and I, we sat down and went over the lessons that we're going to do for this fall. And I'm excited for what we're teaching both in the high school and in the High Voltage.
Yeah.
I think we've got some good things lined up. So September 16th, be looking for High Voltage to return.
Be there.
Okay. Hey, thanks for joining us for day one. Hope to see you tomorrow for day 2 of God is Pursuing.